Okay, so what I've done is I've put this function into a graphing calculator, and I looked at the graph on appropriate windows, and then I have it over here. Okay, and also if I do second graph, this gives me points that are on this function, and I'm going to need that. You can see here you have the point 4 comma 54.04, so I'm going to write those down because we're going to use them. But first of all, I think what I'm going to do is divide the interval into 4 subintervals. So I'm going to take b minus a over the number of subintervals, which is 4. So it'd be 12 minus 4 all over 4, which is going to be 8 minus 4, which is 2. And that's going to be the length of my subintervals. Okay, so we're going to start at 4, and I'm going to go from 4 up to the graph there, and then each subinterval has length 2, and so my next subinterval will start at 6. I'm going to draw that to the graph, and then 8. I'm going to draw that to the graph, and 10. Draw that to the graph. Make it a little bit more straight. About there. And then from 12 to the graph. Okay. Now, I want to approximate the area under that curve by getting 4 rectangles. And I need to use the left point of each interval. Okay, so what I'm going to need, and now I'm going to plug in my pin. So here, get this maybe in a different color. I'm going to need this point. And this point has coordinates 4, comma, and then for my graphing calculator, 54.04. This point here has coordinates 6, comma, 33.84. And this point here has coordinates 8, comma, 72.76. And this one here, well, if you see it'll be 10, comma, 238. And if we're using left endpoints, we don't even need to know what this one is, but I'll just write it just so we have it. It will be 12, comma, 615.96. But we're forming rectangles using the left endpoints. Okay, so let me get my first rectangle. I'm going to look at this one here. I'm going to use the left endpoint, and I'm going to come straight across and then go straight down, and that's my first rectangle. Okay, so that first rectangle is going to have an area of, well, base times height. And the base is 2, and the height is 54.04. So that's the first rectangle. Now for my second rectangle, I'm going to take this interval here. I take the left endpoint. So I take the one that's on the graph here, and I'm going to draw a straight line across. And so this is going to be my second rectangle. Okay, so my second, that was formed using the left endpoint of the second subinterval. So my second rectangle is going to have base of 2 times height. Well, how tall is that? Well, it's going to be 33.84. Okay, my thing timed out, but never mind. We've got all the pertinent information from that. Now I'm going to come here, and with my third rectangle, I'm going to build it from the left endpoint. So I'm going to start here and come straight across, and then this is going to be my third rectangle. Now, what is the area of my third rectangle going to be? It's going to be the base, which is 2, has measurement 2, width of 2, times the height, and the height is what the y coordinate is here, which is 72.76. And then for my last rectangle, well, if I form it using the left endpoint, I'm going to start there and then come straight across. And that's going to be my fourth rectangle. And it's going to have area, base, which is 2 units, times the height. And the height is the y coordinate of this point, which is 238. Okay, now I can put all of those in my calculator term by term if I want to, but notice there's a 2 in all of them. So I can factor that out. And then I just have to do 54.04 plus 33.84 plus 72.76 plus 238. All right, now let me see. I'm going to do this in my calculator. Now, when I do calculations, what I've drawn there, what I've written in hand is going to disappear, but it'll come back. Okay. So let me just take this off, and I'm going to get out of this. And we had 54.04 inside the brackets plus 33.84 plus 72.76 plus 238. And then I'm going to press enter, and that's going to give me what was inside the brackets, and then I'm going to multiply it by 2. Okay. And so this is going to be equal to the sum of those four, the area of those 4 rectangles, and that's my approximation. So 797.28, and then square whatever your units are in, and you haven't given me that information there. Okay. So that's our answer. That is the approximation using left endpoints in each subinterval. Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me help you.